Hey everybody, welcome back to Marketing of the Minds. Great to be back with you. My name is Terry Hansen. I'm the host of the Marketing of the Minds podcast, here with my friend and award-winning digital marketing expert, Nathan Hawks, who is also the president and founder of Arcane Marketing. It's great to be back with you today. So as you guys know, typically on the show, we will be answering a lot of the questions that we get each and every single week from viewers just like you, business professionals who are running dental practices, chiropractic clinics, financial advisories, insurance agencies, those hardworking business professionals and as they're working to grow their business. So Nate, excited to be back with you once again today. How you feeling?
Man, today's a good day.
Today's a good day.
Today's
Friday, so it's always a good day.
Can't complain.
Yeah. So kind of a new piece that I want you guys to be paying attention to and focusing on is every single episode that we do, we're gonna have some Easter eggs hidden for you by the name of Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So if you look carefully around the shots, you might see a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, depending on where you're looking. So if you find Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, we do Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head primarily because, of course, we're here in the state of Idaho, where potatoes are our thing, and
they're abundant.
They're abundant around here. And do you like baked potatoes? Are you a baked potato fan?
You know what? Baked potatoes, if they're twice baked.
Twice baked? All right.
Yeah, they're okay otherwise, but you can make them better.
I'm like quasi-baked potato fan. Like I'll eat them, it's good, but it's not like my favorite thing.
Give me the French fries.
That's much better. Well, I dig. So be watching for the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head Easter eggs around our shots as you tune in every single week to our Marketing of the Minds podcast. So today we've got questions from Austin, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah. Questions dealing with what business owners can do to supplement or complement the work that maybe a digital marketing agency is doing for them, how to get more reviews on Google, and how to stand out from your competitors. So we're going to be talking about those. But before we do, Nate, you've got a good dad joke for us?
Oh, man.
You've got a whole bunch of kids.
Well, not a whole bunch. I have a couple. But I have an 8-year-old daughter. Okay. And she told me one that gave me pause. And the more I've thought about it, the funnier it is.
Let's hear it. Rock and roll.
Okay. Well, we like to joke around a lot around here, right? So she asked me, she said, "Dad, why don't you brush your teeth with your left hand?" I said, "I don't know."
I don't know.
And she said, "Because a toothbrush works better." Coming from an 8-year-old, that's pretty good.
Yeah, your toothbrush does work better than your left hand. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited. So one of the questions that came in from Austin, Texas is, what are the best practices that I can do as an owner to enhance what is being done by our digital marketing agency? So, I mean, one of the great things about, working in professional services is you're an expert in your field. You want to outsource a lot of things and just not worry about it. So if you have a digital marketing agency that's theoretically doing lots of stuff for you, what can you do internally to complement and supplement and just amplify what they're already doing for you?
Absolutely. And that's a great question.
What do you think?
So it happens a lot. And we give this scenario to our clients all the time. Okay. Because there are a handful of things that can happen. Now, I would say that we identify clients in a couple of different types of scenarios. It's not very often, but sometimes we have people that will come to us and say, "Here you go. Here's the keys to the website. We'll talk to you in 6 months," or something like that.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And then it's left to us to figure it out. And we do a good job with what we have. But to be honest, we find it's a better scenario when we can collaborate and work with our clients and have them be a pseudo team member, whether they're feeding us or guiding us in some of the things that they want to see happen. So typically what we tell them or tell the clients is that there are really 2 ways that just make a difference in the things that we do for our services. Number 1 is providing us with new information. So there's always new industry information, whether you're an HVAC guy or a plumber or a financial advisor, an accountant or lawyer or hairdresser for that amount, right? It could be any type of an industry. There's always some new things coming up, a new experience you had, a new project you worked on, new whatever. So information comes in three ways primarily. Written, text.
Yeah.
Send us an email with some what's happening. Just give us a clue, and we can research and usually extrapolate a lot more information. Second thing is take some pictures. Guys, your mobile phones take amazing pictures. They are arguably the most used video cameras out there, right? And that's every time a new iPhone or a new Android comes out, that's the primary thing they upgrade usually is the photo capabilities, right? And then the last thing is video. Now we talked about video a little bit in the last video, but couldn't be more accurate. Just even if you've got a 30-second clip or just something, just turn your cell phone on yourself and answer a question, just say it. We can take that information regardless and use it either on your website, maybe to do some blogging, maybe to do some social media posts or something like that. But put it on YouTube, right? There's lots of different ways that it can happen. And I just want to tell you reasons why that matters so much real fast. Information we got from Rand Fishkin at SparkToro not long ago says that Google, and I've got this data right here next to me so I don't get it wrong, but Google basically controls about 92.6% of all search. Now, I know that sounds a little inaccurate, but there's several pieces that add up to make that, such as just the Google search engine, Google Images, YouTube, and Google Maps. Those are kind of the four primary Google properties that bring all together that equal that 92.6%. So if you're sending us content that goes on your website, great. That's an additional piece for Google to index. If you're sending us images, we can optimize the images, add title and alt tags, etc., and they get picked up by Google in the image search. And then the last thing is videos, and videos can be searched in lots of different places, right? In addition to being set up on social media. So I would say that any of that information that you can send us is super helpful. And then the second thing that always happens is more helpful is just the engagement that they can provide on social media. It happens all the time where people just ask questions and for them to be able to respond. So if they can provide us new information and help engage in their business on social media.
So you're saying that the best thing that they can do to complement the work that agencies are doing is just stay on social media, respond, comment, and reply to people who are engaging with you. Okay, that's great. That's great. Yep, super good. That's awesome. Awesome. Love that. Thank you for that. So next question comes from an insurance agency in Denver, Colorado. They asked, how do we get more reviews on Google? There's a lot of places online where people see reviews. We've got Yelp, we've got Facebook, we've got Google, we've got, lots of different TripAdvisor, lots of different places. I think predominantly consumers, they're looking a lot on Google and Facebook primarily. So it could be kind of dual. How do we get more reviews on Google, but also maybe even on Facebook? I know those are big.
Sure.
So what can a business do that makes a difference?
So I know this sounds really simple, but I think there's a couple of pieces to regard in this situation.
Okay.
Number one is that hopefully everybody realizes that reviews alone are really helpful. They're really beneficial. People like to see them so that they can see that other people have had whatever kind of experience it is, good, bad, or indifferent. Yep. But reviews alone only make a little difference. When you utilize reviews in addition to other pieces in digital marketing, then they become a powerhouse.
So it's just reviews are just one piece
of the puzzle. It's just one piece of a puzzle.
It's not the whole thing.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
No, it's smart.
Yep. And we talk about a phrase, and I may say it in future episodes, but there is causation, or correlation is not causation, right? Having a lot of reviews tends to be a part of people who do well in whatever their professional field is, whether it's in Google or Facebook or Yelp or whatever review place there is out there, but it's not the reason why those companies tend to do well. Usually it's that in combination with other things. So it's correlated with doing better, but it's not the reason.
I think about myself as a consumer. If I am looking for a business and I do some sort of search and I see that company A has got 10 reviews, company B has got 50 reviews, and so forth and so on. As a consumer, I'm looking at the quantity, but I'm also, looking at how close they are, maybe the proximity, or I'm looking at, their hours of operation. I'm looking at, there's a number of factors that I'm looking at. You're right, not just the number or quality of reviews.
That's correct.
So, but it definitely weighs. It plays a role.
It does.
So,
and then I would also argue that there's another piece that sounds simple, but you'd be surprised at how often it doesn't happen. And I got this stat because we've given several keynote presentations and looked it up, and it's been really important. 76% of people would have left a review for you if they were simply asked.
Right.
And so I would just ask you as a business owner, how often are you asking for someone to provide that feedback to you? How often are you saying, here's my Google profile, or here's where my Facebook profile, will you please tell people about your experience? For us, on occasion, we get somebody that calls up and says, oh my gosh, thank you so much. What you've done is so beneficial, so helpful. Business is good. We are blessed to have worked with you in your agency. What can we do to repay you? And I usually tell them the best thing you can do is just simply leave a review and tell everybody else about how good the experience is. But one last piece on that is how do you get more meaningful reviews? And you can coach or just give some tidbits of information on how to get good reviews, right? Because if a company, let's say that example, if a company has 10 reviews and the next one down has 50, maybe there's a reason why the guy who has 10, in addition to the other things, maybe those are 10 more quality reviews, right? And so you can sell them to do better than just, I had a great experience, right? The more detail that somebody gives about their experience, the more that helps. So the length of the review actually matters.
So longer reviews are better than shorter reviews.
Correct.
Okay, smart.
Yep. And then the other thing is what content is contained in the review. And we know that this is important not only to Google and Bing, but to several other places. Yelp, Facebook, they all track what's being said in the review.
Okay.
Okay, last little tidbit, and let's call it a Google hack.
A hack.
And it's a little bit quasi. It's not scientifically stated. I have several confirmations and tests that we've run to prove that this does work, and it is true.
Okay.
And in fact, even speaking with several different people in places that matter.
Okay.
To say
all
that
this ambiguity.
to say that it does happen.
Go.
So this, and I don't want to say it's an industry secret, but pay attention, is that if you ask someone who is a Google local guide to leave a review, that it is more impactful. And 48% of people say that they trust someone who has the Google Local Guide review badge, which, so you guys know, it's free to sign up to be a Google Local Guide. And if someone has that badge, 48% of people say they trust a Google Local Guide's review over just a normal person's review.
Okay.
Okay, and then here's the sketchy piece, right? Once you become a Google Local Guide above level 7, because there's levels 1 through 10.
Okay.
Once you become level 7, the reviews become weighted, which means it is more important and helpful to Google when you have earned at least level 7 in your experience level and you leave a review, it's more impactful.
I see. So
take that for what it's worth.
That's an interesting deal. I never even knew there was such a thing. So that's smart. That's awesome. Well, thank you. That's good stuff. We got one last question for today in this episode. This is a chiropractic clinic in Salt Lake City, Utah. They asked, how can we stand out from our competitors? And I'm sure in Salt Lake City is like here locally in Idaho Falls. The competitive landscape is raging right now, and you can throw rocks at probably 10 different chiropractors here in our local market. And so I can only imagine what it's like if you've got your chiropractic clinic and there's 2 or 3 or 4 just almost literally right next door to you. So how do you do it? How do you differentiate yourself just from a marketing perspective online? Thoughts?
Well, in our world, we tend to be differentiated as being disruptive. How are you being disruptive? And I know that maybe has a negative connotation. That's not what I mean. I mean, what are you doing that others aren't, that's garnering more attention? And there are easy ways to do that. Now, I would I will kind of reiterate something, and I'm sure I'll say it more times in the future. But as a professional, you know more than average Joe about your trade, whatever that is. Whether you're a mechanic or you're a doctor or chiropractic clinic or a dentist or financial advisor, etc., right? Arguably, you have expertise in that area. Lots of people have questions. Simply answer a question. Give the information to people, but do it on video. And you do that on video. I'll just give a quick example of something that we've known that's worked. So we work with an accounting company in Utah Valley, and they, every Monday, have been very successful at kind of engaging with their audience. And they have something called the 2-Minute Monday. And either one of the partners in the accounting firm, which they're a pretty good sized company, every Monday would put out a 2-minute video and send it out to their clients and or email list. And they might say, and there was one example I saw, they said, hey, as of May 1st, whatever year it was, I can't remember, there was a new change in this code, such and such code, section K, line
whatever
38, now reads super technical, boring legal jargon. And he says, but this is what it means to you in layman's terms. And it was a really neat how he put that out. That video alone got a couple 100,000 views within a month.
Wow.
And it was pretty helpful. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't big news in Utah when it happened, but I'm saying that the fact that he took the initiative just to say, hey, just so you know whether you're our client or not, here's something to be aware of as a business owner, as an entrepreneur.
Love that.
And so as a dentist, why not just say, here's how to brush your teeth? Very simply put, maybe it's a 30-second answer in a question. And I would argue that when you do make those videos, there's one last thing you do. Put it up on your website, put it up on your social media channels, put it up on YouTube or Vimeo or any other video places that are out there.
Send it to your people.
And send it out. TikTok, what a great place to put it. But one of the reasons why we have seen evidence for the last, or at least I have, for the last 14 years, is that when you've done a really good job at producing, say, an FAQ page on your website, if it is optimized decently and your website has good architecture, the FAQ page almost always is the second most visited page on your website, right behind the home page and just ahead of the contact page. What a great area that people miss all the time. So if you want to stand out, talk about your trade, talk about what are the top 20 questions you get, make a video about each one, then make a blog post about that, or put it up on your social media channels, put it on your FAQ page. There's lots of ways that you can use it. As a Google My Business post, there's lots of ways that you can use it to engage, and that really helps you stand out. People will go, hey, that guy really does know his information, or she is fantastic. There's obviously she can answer my question or my concerns, whatever that might be.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, appreciate the time. It's been great. We've covered 3 powerful questions from business professionals all over the country. And be sure to tune back in each and every single week as Marketing of the Minds goes deep into answering your questions. Be sure to hit the like button here on YouTube or whatever social media channel you happen to be watching on. Click the subscribe button and do me a favor. Most importantly is post your comments down below and ask your questions. Your questions are the ones that we use every single week to feed Marketing of the Mind. So post your questions down below. And as you know, each week we select one of the commentors, people who've commented, and give them a special gift, whether it be a marketing consultation or an audit or an analysis of your website, or even one of the brand new ebooks that we've just got done reading. So post your questions down below. And Nate, as always, thank you, man. Appreciate you. And we'll see you guys again next time. Take good care.